Hey everybody, it's Peter from the Kia Hyundai channel. Welcome to our live video series. This is the 2022 Kia Forte5 GT. It's the best Forte they make. This is it. And you don't get it in the States. So if you're American watching with us, you should check this car out. It's pretty cool. And if you're Canadian or other parts of the world, this is a car that you can buy, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to go in depth on this vehicle in this video. So if you've never joined us before, you can, and you're not live with us, you can, if you want, skip ahead to the 3-minute mark where we'll get right to the content on this car. In the meantime, we're going to let our live audience build. I'm going to show you how to join us if you want, and we're going to talk about some news and notes, including a bunch of Kia Ev6 information, because we're going to have that vehicle very soon. And I learned a little bit about this morning. So let's talk about that in a second. But first, here's how you join us. If you want to watch my bald head pause, there it is. Isn't that nice? Nice bald head. All right. So if you want to watch our channel, you go to, or watch our live feed, you go to our channel, which looks like this. Whoops, I'm just hitting buttons here. We don't want to do that. Hold on a second here. Sorry about that. All right, hit that button there. If you refresh the page at exactly 2 o'clock Eastern time, which is what we're doing right there, you will see that that standard video with my bald head is replaced with the live video. We're going to click into that. You'll have to watch a quick little ad, and I'm going to skip that ad, and I know you are too, but you know, it's okay if you want to watch it. If you are joining us and you want to buy a car and you live in Ontario, connect with me. There'll be a link in the description of this video as soon as I'm done being live. And Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, and Owen Sound Hyundai are the 3 dealers that support this channel. I will connect you with them. They will treat you like family, and you won't be the first. Lots of people write in, and we have happy people all across Ontario. So that's my ad. All right, Kia Ev6. We had the first official Kia salespeople training stuff today. And I sat in on that and watched and tried to learn as much as I could. And I'll have a few more questions that I can reach out to head office for as we move forward. But that car's going to be pretty cool, and it's going to come here. A couple things that they did confirm. They are expecting it to hit the government rebate for every Ev6 that we sell. So I know that's confusing for some, but the way it's worded and the way the laws are worded, it sounds like that's going to be applicable, and that's what they're expecting. So of course that's not official yet, but the car hasn't officially launched yet, so that's not a problem. But that's what they're expecting, and they did say that to us. What else is interesting? Oh, they did talk about the Kia Ev6 GT. We've never heard anybody officially talk about that, you know, sort of on the record. And they talk about that as being something that is coming down the line. So we do know we are going to get an ultra high performance Kia Ev6 coming. The current Ev6 that we're going to get is already going to be faster 0 to 60 than the Kia Stinger. So the next one above that is going to be absolutely insane, and that'll be fun. All right, do me a favor. We're going to have a few less people in this video because the Americans have already tuned out. Maybe not all of them, but do me a favor, hit the like button if you're a regular, and let's keep going through here. All right. Okay, 3 minutes in. All right, here we go. One quick little thing. If you want to follow us and see what we're doing online, keep an eye on my Instagram channel. That's how you find me on Instagram. And yeah, just click in there and we follow. We do lots of cool stuff. And I always give a story of what we're doing that day. So if you missed the live, you know what's coming up. And you can ask your questions there if you have to, if you want to. This is the Kia Forte5 GT. It's, in my opinion, the best Forte they make. And I'm also a fan of the hatchback. A lot of people, when they see this car in person, also seem to think it's one of the best looking Fortes that they make. And the Forte5, of course, is the hatchback version sold here in Canada, sold around the world in other names and other types of things. But it is a very, very good car. And in this GT trim, you've got the 1.6 liter turbo engine, which makes more horsepower in this vehicle than it does in many of the other vehicles they put it in. 7-speed dual clutch transmission, LED lighting, all kinds of stuff. We're going to take a look at this in detail. But here's what's pretty cool. Someone says, did I miss something? Why did the Americans tune out? Because you can't buy this car in the States, which I hope that Americans will stay tuned in. But sometimes when they can't buy the vehicle, they don't want to watch it. I get that. That's fair. I'm not going to force anybody to watch. All right. So over here, I want to show you one cool thing on the Kia website. Here is the Kia Forte, and there it is in the 2021 model. So come on, camera. Oh, there we go. It's not scrolling down for me, but 2021 is the only thing they have on their website, so I can't show you the 2022 specs on the website. You can only see it here right now. We try to get these things early. So $30,995 is the MSRP, and of course, unlike in the States, that's what we charge. We don't charge over MSRP like they do in the States with all their cars, many of their cars. 8.9 and 6.9 is the city and highway fuel efficiency, and that is pretty good for a fairly good performance car. Now, yesterday you saw the Hyundai Kona N. And when we're comparing these two cars, the Kona N is very much racetrack ready, And you pay a little bit in the price of that for just overall price, but also in the ride quality around town, in the noise, those kinds of things. This car has a nice, robust exhaust sound, but it is not silly, kind of childish, make you giggle every single time. It's a mature, but still fun to drive vehicle. And I think the thing that we've all decided with this car is it's the kind of car that even when the technology's out of date, the car's out of date, it puts a smile on your face every time you go in. It doesn't make you giggle, but it just makes you feel like this is a good, well-balanced driving machine. And it should be well-balanced because, like I said, in addition to having this engine with the most power in the lineup, through here, you rip out the rear suspension of a typical Kia Forte or Kia Forte5. They put in independent rear suspension. That's a different suspension for this vehicle, larger front brakes as well. But in addition to that different suspension, it gives you sort of a better handling package and allows for the exhaust to run through to have a better exhaust sound. So what are we going to do? We're going to dive right inside, take a look. We're going to go through all the features, and there are a number of updates for 2022. The lighting, which we're going to show you a little bit later, but also inside is a big difference. And one of the first differences we're going to show you is right there. New logo on the key and remote start on the key fob. This is pretty standard stuff now, but if you haven't seen a video of a Forte5 since the last year's model, this is a new thing. So basically, if you have push button start on a Kia right now, it seems like you're going to get a remote start on the key fob as well, and that is a nice touch. You can also remote start this car with your cell phone. So that's through Kia Connect / Uvo Intelligence. They're telling us that they've switched the name to Kia Connect, which they have if you go look for the app, but in the car it still says Uvo Intelligence. Same system, two different names right now. Very confusing for our customers, but we'll try to make things clear for you right here. All right, so we're gonna jump in the driver's seat. We're gonna look at rear seat space, lighting, all kinds of stuff. Does it come in all-wheel drive? No, this is a typical Forte. It's a front-wheel drive only. More about efficiency and fun to drive than about sort of SUV type things. And really what you wanna do if you wanna go with all-wheel drive is you're gonna step into the Seltos. The Seltos is available with the same engine transmission combination. Makes a little bit different horsepower there just because they go for fuel efficiency in the larger body style. This one is still more efficient than that. Down here, you have a powered seat with the lumbar support, and these are proper sport seats. They've got good bolstering, and they hold you in place. And because this is an artificial leather, it is not as slippery as real leather. It kind of grips you in your seat a little bit. I really like the feel of this leather. It's, like I said, it's artificial, and I like it better than leather. And of course, you've got red piping and red stitching. And even if you zoom in on the piping there, you can see there's little lines in there. It's hard to get my camera to focus on there. Maybe to the right of the screen, you can sort of see it there a little bit. But there are some just sort of lines there. So it's visually interesting, and I think that's cool for a, compact car. Down here, when you sit in the driver's seat, you do still have the steering wheel here with the GT down here, red stitching across there as well. And as we turn the car to the on position, we won't start it up fully because we are indoors. You've got a nice display screen inside with all this new software, and this is going to be nice. It says it's -3, but this car is actually inside. It is much warmer than that in my studio here, so you'll see that temperature slowly rise as we sit in here for a little bit. But my seat is cold, so I'm going to use my rump roaster in a second. All right, in here, big differences are, like I said, the quality of this screen in here, and then the addition of this button right here. You never used to have this lane follow assist or the smart cruise control. Both of these systems are a nice upgrade here. And what that means is the vehicle is capable of seeing cars in front of you. Now, it can use that to assist in lane follow assist, which also follows lane markers and keeps you centered in the lane by actively steering the car for you, so it can keep you centered in the lane. You have to keep your hands on the wheel and you're responsible for it, but it is capable of steering itself in the lane when you turn that on. And of course, the cruise control that follows the vehicle in front of you is capable of keeping its distance in front, and that makes it really great for stop and go traffic. And people forget about that. The smart cruise control, stress out of their drive, and this is a great little commuter car to do that. So when you're using this car as your commuter car, smart cruise control can be your can be a favorite feature. But you also have the option of turning off the vehicle, steering itself, keeping it centered in the lane, and going to the country roads and hugging the lane markers, because this is a car that handles very well. This car is all about balance. It's not about outright power and outright performance, but it is about fun performance. It just has an athletic feel to everything that it does. And with the paddle shifters in here, the dual clutch transmission, you've got plus there, minus there, a little bit smaller paddle shifters than we saw yesterday, but they're well placed. So you do have the ability to switch the gears right from the gear shift there. And then again, all these features in here, like with this digital dash, you have a couple nice things like there's your drive information and fuel efficiency. This is a bar graph. Ignore the fuel efficiency numbers because they are not accurate. This car has been idling a lot. Any dealership car is going to idle a lot, especially in the first few kilometers when they do their testing and stuff. But this is a color bar graph to show you an instant fuel economy and that kind of thing. And it's very nicely done. Again, having that color screen now, when you do your navigation information, you can have directions can show right in the center screen if you want them to. Tire pressure monitors, all kinds of nice features in here. Driver attention alert, which is all nice here as well. It'll tell you to take a break when it's time. So just a lot of little things that are kind of nice. And if you're wondering where the settings are over here, well, they're no longer in there because you now finally get this 10.25-inch screen inside the Forte and the Forte5. So obviously satellite radio is here, and you have the different drive modes. The different drive modes are really important. I point this out a lot, but again, if you've never seen our video, a lot of your settings in this car are controlled by this setting here. So when you have guest or you have driver 1 or driver 2, so you can see driver 1, driver 2, we're going to keep it on guest for now just because that's where I have it set up. When you have it set up for your different drivers, and you can rename those drivers to custom name it for yourself. So if I drove this car, instead of saying guest right here, I would have it in the driver 1 setting and it would say Peter. But you can rename those things. And the reason that's useful is I always compare it to sharing a cell phone. If you were to share a cell phone with someone, it would be weird, it would be awkward, and you'd just be stuck with stuff that you don't always want in places you don't always want. With a car, it's the same, and especially since you can customize so many settings of this car, it really becomes something that not just the radio stations will be in the place that you want them and the favorite stations that you have, driver user right there, and it's pretty cool. So let's just show you a couple of things you can do. Obviously, we have the map and the navigation, HD radio data. Sometimes this works inside, sometimes it doesn't, so let's just see if it works here today. No information, but you can see a sort of radar map to see if there's bad weather in the area. We're going to go to the setup setting over here. We're going to go to the vehicle setup over here, and we're going to look at smart cruise control. So this is the kind of thing that you might set up here. Smart cruise control, you may want it to work slower or faster for the way you drive. And if you start messing with these things and someone else starts using the car, then it's going to be confusing for them. So if you mess with them while you're in your user profile, it becomes easier to deal with. Driving convenience, highway driving assist, auto speed change. So when you set up the smart cruise control, you have various things that can automatically change the speed for using your navigation data when it has a highway speed change. Warning timing, warning volume, driver attention warning. So same thing. When a vehicle in front of you, especially if you're sitting at a stoplight, let's say you're not paying proper attention. Where this goes off for me is at the drive-through, if you're going to Tim Hortons or something like that. But if you're sitting at a stoplight and somebody goes in front of you and you're not paying attention, which you should always pay attention, instead of waiting for the guy behind you to honk at you, your car is going to warn you, hey, the leading vehicle or the vehicle in front of you just took off. Maybe you should go as well. Same with the inattentive driving warning. You can turn that on or off if you want in here. Forward safety, there's lots of things. You have an active assist where it's actively able to brake the car. Lane safety, same thing with the assist. Helps you keep the vehicle in the lane. Blind spot safety with active assist. So this is a big thing that people forget to point out. The active assist in your blind spot. So you can kind of see here, it's going to warn you if someone's over here. So we're used to seeing this blind spot detection light, right? Where that lights up if someone's in your blind spot. Well, what this one can do is not only will it light up, if you start turning into that area, or more importantly, if nobody's there and they're coming in from the lane outside to this lane and you're moving into that lane, as that's happening, this is going to sense that. And not only is it going to warn you, it is capable of actively braking, in this case, the front right side wheel, to just nudge the car back into your lane and pull you away from the danger over there. So in addition to just blind spot detection, it also has an active safety setting that will allow you to do exactly that. It'll pull the car away from a dangerous situation. It also has safe exit warning, and this is a really nice feature to have because it uses the radar in the back corner of the car that it would use for the blind spot safety if you're parked on the side of the road. And if you have a person in the back seat, or even yourself, you're about to get out of the car, you know how it is. We all sit there, we grab the door handle right now, and we pop the door open into traffic, but we didn't check on our mirrors or we didn't pay enough attention. If there's a car going by, it's going to actively beep at you the second you go to pull your door handle. So it's going to say, hey, don't open that door. I'm warning you that someone's about to come and cross your path. And that just keeps you safer from opening your door into traffic and opening children's doors into traffic and that kind of thing. Parking safety, same kind of thing here. Rear cross traffic safety. So rear cross traffic alert is in there. While we're at rear cross traffic alert, let's just throw in reverse. There is your crystal clear backup camera. You can see that the yellow and red lines turn with the car. The blue line, you're going to line up with your parking spot, and those angled lines line up perfectly with the parking spot. You center them in the spot, and you will be centered in the spot when you back into a spot. And you can see it still uses things like navigation here. So anytime you have a split screen here, You can keep all of your various information up on this screen. So satellite radio if you wanted that to, whatever you want to be there. And there are a couple little features. You can change the view here if you want to look straight down at something behind you. Whoops, not that one here. If you want to look straight down at something behind you there, you can do that as well. So it shows you the different view if you wanted a different view just to get a little closer. So just good features in this car. While we're scrolling down here, let's take a look here. Oh, one other thing, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is available on this vehicle. It is wired on this 10.25 inch screen. It's wireless on the smaller screen. And if that seems backwards to you, yes, you heard me correctly. The bigger screen doesn't get it wireless. The smaller screen does. So on this car at this trim level, it is wired only, and that's the way it is. Harman Kardon stereo system here. You do have the star button here, and what that does is that allows you to set up to a number of different things. I like to set that up for my Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but you could set it up for something yourself if you wanted that differently there. Scrolling across here, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Whoop. No, I think that's everything there. So we've got everything there. Okay, perfect. Coming back over to there. There's your home screen there. Let's just see what we missed over here. Uvo we talked about. So Uvo with this car is that cell phone app, Uvo Intelligence / Kia Connect, and you have the buttons here. Call for a tow, SOS. The navigation I don't believe works anymore, although this car has navigation anyways. And because the buttons are here, you guys preserve what you guys like to see is your sunglass holder up here. LED lights are standard in this car, so they're the nice white bright lights. And let's just look up for one quick second. Come on, camera. There we go. There is a sunroof above me, and of course it is a power opening sunroof, and it works quite nicely. There we go, opens that far, and a tiny bit more if you want it to. So this is one of those ones that will stretch back. The reason it doesn't do that from the beginning is because when it's that far open at various speed, you'll have that buffeting kind of effect. So you can open it if it's going the right speed, but it won't default to that full open position. But it's well positioned, as you can see, so it's sitting above me as the driver. All right, let's flip this back around here. Coming down here, automatic climate control. It is a dual zone climate control. And this is one thing people are surprised to find out. The Seltos, for instance, does not have dual zone climate control. This car does. This car is a better value if you don't need all-wheel drive. You're going to get the dual zone system here if you want it, so you can set driver and passenger differently. Down here, you have your wireless phone charging system. I'm going to turn that off for now. Oh, whole lights in the whole room turned off. Wireless phone charging down here. And you have two USB ports and a 12-volt port down there. The outside ones are behind doors, so they could be hidden. And, of course, space to put your stuff. Down here, we mentioned the automatic transmission. We mentioned the paddle shifters. You can also manually shift like that by tipping it to the side, going up and down the gears right there. And then, over here, rump roasters. Now this leather doesn't seem to get as cold as real leather to me. It also doesn't get as hot as real leather, but you can use the rump roasters if you want, but you also have the ventilated seats, which work very well. The perforations in these seats, the air as it blows through does a great job of cooling off the seats. Sometimes competitors' cars, they kind of take the heat out of the seat, but these ones will move enough air through to truly cool you down. Keep you from sweating in the summer. Kind of a nice feature. I already feel it working. It is freezing me out. I'm going back to the rump roasters. You also have the heated steering wheel there, and of course, passenger side also has heated and ventilated seats. There's your parking camera button. You can pull that up at slow speeds. Drive modes. Let's talk about drive modes for a second. I'll tap that button as we look at the dash. As we do this, there we go. You have this. We went from normal to sport into smart. No more eco mode in this car, and that makes sense. The smart mode is your eco mode. So it's going to help you drive. If you're driving efficiently anyways, it's going to work with you to get good fuel efficiency. However, if you get in the throttle a little bit more and you're kind of going at things, getting a little more, driving with a little bit more power, it will move to normal mode automatically or sport mode automatically if you're in that smart mode. So smart mode for efficiency, and it will also change modes for you from there. Headlights, we'll talk about them in a second. They're on right now. Keep coming down here again, and you can see the red stitching, of course, is the nice accent. You have the electronic parking brake here, and cup holders and space to hold your phone or whatever else here. Of course, you don't need to put your phone here because there's that wireless phone charger up there. All right, 18 and a bit minutes in, and somebody says, I don't think this is in the US lineup. You're correct. This is Canada only. We're filming Canada, and it's a pretty cool car to see. So we're going to go look at trunk space and rear seat space in a second. Before we do that, let's go take your questions right now. And we got 33 likes. We should be able to hit 55 likes. Let's go for 55 likes today. And if we all hit the button together right now, we'll see a whole bunch of people join us in a second. So I'm going to turn the car to the off position. We got the sunroof open. That's why it's beeping at me. Let's go take your questions. And then we will jump outside. I want to show you the front fascias. We're going to work our way around to the front lighting a little bit later because it is updated. I think it's pretty good, and it definitely has some Ev6 vibes to it, which of course is the next big thing from Kia, so that'll be kind of cool to see. All right, let's put you down here for a second, and let me go over and see if I can see your questions. All right, Does the driver 1-2 have to be set from the screen, or does it recognize the individual key fobs? Good question. It does not recognize the key fobs. You do have to tap that button to set it to 1 or 2. Older Kias had an SD card slot for future software updates. How can we get future software updates for new cars? USB stick through the USB port. So you're just going to download the file, especially navigation type updates. Navigation updates, I believe, are free for 10 years still. That started in around 2022 cars, so I haven't heard any differently. So you can download your own navigation updates for the nav screen, throw it in the USB port, and that is also where some of that software update comes through in those, the different style. My car, when I brought it, didn't have this purple theme. Now it does, so you can have software updates through there, and you can do them yourself at home if you like. Does the electronic parking brake need to be pulled every time, or does it turn on automatically in park mode? If you just put the car in park, the parking brake is not on. So that's the same thing as a regular automatic car. If you pull that up with 2 fingers, just that works like a handbrake. So pull up is on, push down to turn it off, and that's how that works. The sunroof beep is actually smart. So many memes about raining or snowing in the form. Yeah, if you leave something like your sunroof open, the second you turn the car off, you hear this little beeping chime, and you kind of get trained if you're a Kia or Hyundai driver, when that beeping chime comes off, to look in the digital dash. The digital dash will tell you what's wrong, why it's beeping. Sometimes it'll say check the back seats, and you can turn that feature off, which I've done in my car. But you can also check the, it tells you to check the sunroof, that it's open. So when you hear that beep, you just look at the dash to see what's going on. Someone says, if you install a race chip, will that void the warranty? I wouldn't do it. That's the short answer. I don't know if, I assume it would void the warranty. I would definitely not put a race chip in these cars. We've seen too many people try to pretend they didn't do that and have major issues. And yeah, you don't want to do that. Just if you want a car that's faster than this, then buy a car that's faster than this. There's within the Kia Hyundai lineup, that Kona N we had here yesterday is a great option to have a whole ton of power. You don't need to chip that car at all. But yeah, just drive this one the way it is. All right, we're gonna come back, take your more questions in a second. We're gonna go rear seat, trunk space, lighting, and then we'll come back and take some more questions. And I wanna show you rear seat space because it's pretty good in this car. Again, different roof line here than the sedan, and there are some big benefits, which we'll go over in a second. The big thing I wanna point out is one of my favorite features, roasters. Car's off right now, so 2 levels of rump roasting in the rear as well on the outboard seating positions on the bottoms of your seats only. So that's pretty good to have in there with that seat heater. All right, let me just jump in here. Throw the camera around. So again, it is a little lower than something like a Kia Seltos, but it is not low like a race car, sports car. It's very easy to get in and out of here. Headroom is very good. Legroom is nice as well. My legs are on the seat, which is good. You can't say that in a whole bunch of cars, but Kia and Hyundai do that very well. And you have the armrest right there with the cup holders in, and it's nicely spaced sort of above, so it falls exactly to where your arm might be. Now, I've criticized a lot of vehicles for not having the things that you want in the back seat. This one gets us most of the way there. I like to have a pocket back here, as do most people. And it has that netted pocket, which is a pretty good stretch to it, so it fits a lot of things. Plastic back seats. You have vents down here. They're off right now. We're going to turn them back to the on position. And you have a USB port down low. There are some plasticky things in here that are shipping plastic, so don't worry about the look of the cheap plastics. That's just the shipping plastic. Again, there's that USB port down there. What do they fail on? They need to put a second little pocket down there. Again, I have this theory that these map pockets in the back of the seats were put in when people use these things called maps that we don't use anymore because we now have GPSs. And they used to put it on the passenger side rear seat because that's where the driver could reach the map pocket. And those kids in the back seats of cars. And it's not fair when you have 2 kids in the back that only one gets the pocket. So I'm gonna harp on Kia and Hyundai. I'm gonna drive change right there by saying, let's start putting those map pockets. If you're gonna put it in one, put it in both, because nobody uses them for maps anymore. It's not for the driver anymore. All right, let's flip around over here. This is my favorite part of the car. We're gonna turn the lighting on in a second, but the look and style of this car is just cool from the back. It's interesting, it's detailed. You've got the dual exhausts that are sort of the oval exhausts, which are not massive like the Kona N from yesterday, but they are oversized. You've got the diffuser down here. You've got some interesting honeycomb style detail in there. The lighting, which we'll show you in a minute, is very cool. And the overall look, and it looks more modern with that Kia logo. It just, overall, the spoiler here off the deck lid, into the shape of a spoiler up top as well. Everything's integrated well. It looks really sharp. It looks really high end. And then you start getting into the trunk. Of course, it's a hatchback, so you have a much bigger opening. Now, there's a lot of good things going on in here. You do have subwoofers here in the side there, which they didn't used to have, so now they have that, which is kind of nice. 3 child tie-downs here. You've got this little hook on this pad here. We're going to get to that in just 1 second, so remember that that's there. On this side right here, you can pull this up, throw something like an umbrella. It comes with a cargo net, so if you're driving athletically, you have the little tie-downs. You can tie things down to this so that it doesn't go flying everywhere. We lifted that side and we saw that side there. We lifted this side here, and you can see over here, again, there's another spot there where you can have underfloor storage. Let's move that. And then beside there, of course, you can see that as well. Now, those panels that lift up are not the only thing. You also have the entire bottom panel that lifts up. And remember that clip we told you about earlier? I said to remember that? If you push it up here, you can clip this in like that. And now your floor holds up, and now you have even more underfloor space storage. So styrofoam here for something like a laptop, certainly enough space to hold even the 2 or 3 of the thickest laptops here. And then space all the way around, maybe your gym shoes. Why is this important? Because if you have smelly gym clothes, you put it under the floor and under the cargo cover, and you won't have to smell it in a car that is open to the cargo area. So lots of good stuff here. And I should show you here. Here are some Velcro loops on the right side where we lifted up that right side there. And down here, instead of the Velcro loops, you have elasticized loops. So just really good variety there. Now it gets better because underneath here, you have even more storage again, and that is super deep. So before you've even loaded your trunk to go camping, you've got all kinds of space in here. It's just one of those cool designs where they have the space and they use the space very well. And I just unclipped this thing. There we go. So we'll pull that flat. So what about the regular trunk space? Let's take my friend the teddy bear, our trunk measurement tool, and put him in here. It's just one of our better trunk space type things. Now, the Forte sedan is actually a little bit longer car than this. This one has a little bit less floor space than the regular Forte, but not by a whole lot. So, you can see teddy bear's got tons of space, much more than a Kia Soul here would have for floor space. And of course, you can take this panel out, fold the seats down, and have a ton of space, including taking larger items, which is one of the things you can't do in the Forte sedan because you have that smaller opening here. This one has that much larger opening, and that much larger opening allows you to take much larger items. It's just so practical. In a world of drivers who drive SUVs everywhere, because they like the practicality of the hatchback, this gives you the practicality of the hatchback without taking away the driver's enjoyment, which is why I think it's the best Forte. So, last thing we're gonna look at is lighting here, and then we'll go back to your questions. Sunroof is open. Now, on some of the SUVs, they have a sort of a netted area here. This one is an actual sort of metallic piece, just a little bit more durable, I think, as far as keeping the wind off, and a little bit more subtle in the look. So you can have that sunroof open, and it works very well. All right, let's turn the car to the on position again. There's the button there. So we got it to the on position. Headlights on, fog lights on, left signal on, and let's take a look. Over here, signal light in the mirror, nice amber, hard to film that, doesn't work that great. Coming over here, you do have, on the front end of this car, we always had some red accents, and it's just hinting at red here. As you get a little closer, a little bit different than it was in the 2021 models, new logo, new lighting there, or new design there, also down here. And then you have LED fog lights down low, and you have LED headlights up here, and you can see very bright headlights, which is perfect. I really like the style. And this 6 lines there, those 6 LED daytime running lights, will be very similar to the Ev6 when that car comes. And of course, you can see your fog lights are all individually aimed. I can't get quite low enough there with my self-balancing camera there, but they're all kind of individually aimed to give you a very good look over here, or a very good area over here, sharp cutoff, good coverage of lighting, and that white LED light is just nice and easier to see with. Now, if you turn your signal on, it's hard to see here because the camera has trouble picking up the amber, but that white upper light becomes your amber blinking light. And again, it is a bright amber, but it's not easy to see there. So somebody says it needs all-wheel drive. Okay, it doesn't need all-wheel drive. You just would like it to have all-wheel drive, and there are options there. Coming out back here, what's really cool is these lighting. They didn't change these, and I think that's good. On the Forte sedan, they did change the rear lights. This is the same on the hatchback, and it looks great. You guys always argue with me saying these are poorly placed. They're not farther away. If they had an up and down lighting system here, it would be just the same thing. It's just they go this way instead of this way, and therefore those are just fine where they are. We can argue about the styling and having them there, but I think they look just fine in this car, and it's nice to have amber signals again here. So, Backup lights down low, amber signals, daytime running lights, and brake lights are in there. It just looks cool when it's on. It's a fun car to drive. It's got the practicality of a small crossover. It's fun to drive like a small sports sedan, and it's very well balanced. It's not overpowered for the chassis. It handles very well, but it doesn't ride like a tank. It's very, very, very good, and it really is the best Forte out there, if you ask me. All right, we got 60 people on. We were aiming for 55 likes. We got 7 people that have to jump in and help out here. We're a team here. I spent about a half an hour doing my very best for you, and I asked for one little click. Very good question here. Can you order one with a spare tire? Yes. If there's one at the dealership like this one right now, and you want a spare tire in it, just ask for the spare tire. That underfloor area can be replaced with a spare tire kit, so it's not a big deal. Can I ship to Windsor for US customers? I can ship to Windsor, but I can't ship to US customers. Windsor is in Ontario, and we can't sell to the US. Kind of like the same as the Elantra GT hatchback. Yeah, like the very first Hyundai I had was a 2002 Elantra GT, and this car reminds me of that car very much. Love the Forte. We can't get this version in the UK. It's a shame. We would definitely buy one. Yeah, this car is so unique, and the problem in Canada is we don't see it in ads because we watch a whole lot of American media, world media, that kind of stuff, and they don't advertise this car nearly as much as they should, but it's amazing, right? It gives you that SUV practicality. It's very, baby stinger kind of like, and then it also gives you that sports sedan kind of feel. It's just such a good value and a very comfortable, everyday, normal type car. It's not like a silly race car like the Kona N, and I say silly in the best possible way. That's a super fun car, but it's gurgles and pops and those kind of things. It's not for everybody. This is a very mainstream car in that way. Did the dealership add door seal plates? No, we didn't add any features at all to this car. So this one is as it comes. So as you can see down here, this trim line does come with those there, just like they are. So those black trim panels there. All right, 53 likes. I feel like there's 54 likes. I feel like there's a single person out there going, you know what? I want to be the special one to hit that 55. Now's your chance. You can just hit that right now. All right. Somebody says a front bumper. I don't know. They didn't really understand one of these comments in there. All right. We hit it. 55 likes. Oh, 57 likes. You all jumped in together. Okay. So that is our video for today. So what we're going to do here. Somebody said, I missed this. Is this Canadian spec only? Yes, it is. It's the Canadian version, and they don't sell this car. We just found out they don't sell in the UK. I know they don't sell in the US as well. So yeah, definitely a Canadian special version here, and it's just so good. It should be everywhere. All right, so tomorrow we are going to have the Telluride, 2 of them. We have not had 2 Tellurides in this video at the same time in a long time. So we're going to compare 2 different specs of the Telluride. I believe it is the SX and the SXL. I haven't even seen that yet, but we will be comparing them tomorrow. And that's pretty rare that we do that. So we're going to be able to pull them in here tomorrow. Hopefully you'll join us because the Telluride's been a popular vehicle. There is a wait time on that car, so understanding it through video is kind of an important thing to do, and we'll help you with that. All right, I did a video yesterday afternoon. If you haven't seen it, it's, what is it even called? It's something to do with, skip the wait for your vehicle with Maverick Kia. Just check our page, one of my most recent videos. Basically, we talk about how you can order your vehicle and have, let's call it 6 months wait. I don't know what it is. But if we have the same vehicle incoming, you could choose that vehicle and it'll be maybe 2 months wait, 1 month wait, maybe less. So we did a video just like that yesterday to help people shopping for vehicles shorten their wait time. So here, I'll just show you how to find it right now because I kind of want you to know where it is. We're going to go to our Kia Hyundai channel right there, go to the home page. And when we go there, it is eventually going to load. Oh, that's handy. Okay, there we go. If you look in this section here, where did I put it up here? Most recent videos coming soon. There we go. How to avoid the wait for your new Kia, only at Maverick Kia. So this is what it looks like. How to avoid the wait for your new Kia. So go YouTube, search that Kia Hyundai channel, how to avoid the wait for your new Kia. And if you're in Ontario, we have ability for you to shorten the wait times. It's about a 4.5 minute video. We'll show you how to do that. And it's only here at Maverick Kia. So watch that. Tomorrow we'll watch Tellurides. We're going to have a fun week. Ev6 is going to show up soon. Lots going on. Thanks everybody for joining us and have a good evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.